Welcome back to the Unanimous Decision Podcast. I am your host, D Palm. Follow me on Twitter at DPalm66. By Twitter, I mean Blue Sky and Instagram and Facebook, DPalm66 across all your socials. This podcast, as always, is brought to you by DanielPalmerMortgages.com. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Make sure you check out my other podcast, Life, Love, and Real Estate. Episode 7 came out this Wednesday, talking about you can't always get what you want, trade-offs in life, love, and real estate. But we're here today. It's Felder Friday. What up, Felder?
Man, I just had to make a real tough decision. We have a PTA meeting tonight at my kid's school, but there's also a district-wide virtual meeting that they happen at the same time, and it's for Title I schools. I don't know if you know what Title I schools are, but
educate the listeners.
So Title I schools are schools that have, like a high velocity is not the right word, a high frequency, like they just have a high population of like free and reduced lunch.
Okay.
And my kid's school is not a Title I school, but I do like to stay plugged in because the school that my wife used to work at was Title I. The school that my mom worked at was Title I. Multiple schools that my dad worked at was Title I. So I think I'm not going to go to, and keep in mind, next year I'm probably going to be one of the like lead people on my kids' PTA, but
right.
I want to see this. I want to hear the Title I information because I do care about that, especially as we get to end of grade testing. And so I think I'm just going to stay home, make dinner for my wife and my kid, and then I'll be in this same exact office watching the, like, being a part of the virtual meeting, because those are the kids that need the most help. And there's so much help at my kid's school, and I'm a part of that help. But
right.
I want to see how I can help them in some way, shape, or form. So I made the decision. I got it. I don't know why they're on the same day. I'm sure that one hand didn't talk to the other hand, and
right.
So, but it is what it is. But yeah, and then we got Mother's Day coming up. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
So this is not the first Mother's Day. Obviously, last year was the first one with Matthew. This is
Right.
the one where it's like the juggling has started.
Yes.
And having your mother and wife in the same city is not the easiest thing. So we're gonna do.
Oh, you mean like me?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm just. This is me learning. This is new to me. I'm new to this. You're true to this. We're gonna do. I'm going up to my parents' house on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So mom can spend some time with the baby.
Whole family?
No, Susan's getting the afternoon to herself.
Okay.
She's got a little couple plans she wants to take care of. Like, cool, get some time for you. And then Sunday, I'm gonna be, cooking breakfast.
Yeah.
She says she just wants a 6-pack of Athena for Mother's Day, which I can obviously make happen. But I already got flowers coming. I got cards already for me and the kid for her.
There you go.
Like,
I was going to ask about the card situation, player.
I went yesterday, dog, because I know on Friday it's going to be slim fucking Pickens at that Target or Walmart or Walgreens or wherever you get your cards. It's going to be slim Pickens come Friday. If you're listening to this and you haven't carded up, go card up right. Pause it. We'll be fine. We'll be here when you get back. Pause it right now. Go get your card on. Mother's Day is Sunday. Hey, and this is just a public service announcement. If you are getting flowers for Mother's Day, there's a local florist.
Florist.
There is someone who has built a community and a following in your area.
Yep.
Behind some flowers. Do yourself a favor. Interact with a human being. Get out your car and go to that place. I'm going there. I'm doing like community service through our company today, this afternoon. Yeah. And so on the way there, I'm stopping by the flower shop. I've already got it in my head. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Bing, bang, boom, knock it out. So those are the 2 pieces of free advice from me and Felder. Y'all are all very welcome.
So here's the thing.
What you got?
I think far even further ahead, because I got the cards on Saturday.
Okay.
So, but I wish I was more in front of it, because then I would be able to make that stop at Walmart where they have cheaper cards.
Fair.
But I have to buy cards. Like, I have to write a list out of who I have to get cards for.
I keep circle tight, man.
Dude, I'm not in charge. My dad's gonna hate when he hears this, but I'm not in charge of that. What I am in charge of is delivery. Okay. Like I'm fucking Chris Paul out this motherfucker, dog.
This is.
Yeah, call me Jason Kidd. Look, call me Jason Kidd, okay, player? I'm delivering. All right.
All right.
So because my wife does not think about cards. Ever.
Yeah.
Which means if she doesn't send a card to her mom, who's going to be upset? Her mom. I've already had a multiple hour conversation with her mom about how, yes, she loves you. Like, she just doesn't think about cards. And I'm like, I can't let this. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to put myself through that again.
No.
So you know what I do? I get a card from my daughter to her to that grandma. I get a card from my wife to her mom. I get a card from my wife to her grandmother. And I get these. This is me. I'm doing it. All they have to do is write it down. I'll put the stamps on them joints, and then I'll put them in the mailbox, and we good. I also know I got to get my mom a card, and I got to get a card from my kid to her mom. What are we, 7 in the bag on that one?
7 easy.
Bro, that's what I do. And I got to get a card to my player.
And for those who don't know, if you're not up in the card game, they will come for your pockets for 7 cards.
Bro, and I know that my wife doesn't really want to talk to her mother that much. So I just go and I get like the most expensive card.
Mm-hmm.
So I got her a Snoopy card.
Okay.
That plays like,
hey, for the record, licensed character cards will cost you.
Yeah. Like this is the card I got from my mom. Let me show you. This is something that we do because I come from a card family.
I too am a card family. Bam! Look at that. Strong Mickey. Flowers. Got the foil on there. I bet there's some good heavy card stock too.
Oh yeah, dude. But this was only $5.99. So that's good.
Got it easy.
The one with the music in it.
That's an $8 card, $9 card right there.
That's a $10 card, man.
Tariffs are here.
But here's the thing. Oh, by the way, have you seen these Infinity commercials?
No.
They not playing. Infinity is like, get a car now. Get a car now.
Ain't no parts coming. None of this.
Nothing. Get a car now. Buy it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
So I talked about this last episode with Justin.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about my New York trip. Great trip. The part that I'm hung up on, how do you fly? Are you I'm going to sit at the airport for a couple hours flyer?
No.
So you're me. This is good. Everyone I've talked to this week has been on the Justin, I like to be at the airport 3 hours. Really enjoy my time at the I'm like, yo, it's a bus station. You're a fucking bus terminal. I do not want to break stride from security to walking onto the plane. Like that's my ideal situation. I walk up, your zone is called, go to your seat. Like that's my ideal situation. Yes. Everybody I've spoken to this week has been like, well, that's just irresponsible. Like, and I wouldn't do it if I was traveling with my wife. Like, because she's a more anxious flyer than I am.
Absolutely.
But if it's just your boy, dog, it's gonna be close.
I'm here. So I will take you through an airport experience with Michael Felder. Only, but solo Michael Felder.
Thank you. Solo. It's important delineation. If I'm traveling with myself, no one else gets upset with me. Like, it's just me. I'm good.
And so I have missed probably 15 flights in my life.
Oh, I'm way under that.
So that's just. But I've probably flown more.
You're a volume shooter. You're a volume shooter.
Yeah, look, I'm Carmelo out here. Like, don't worry.
These balls, the ball going up.
Oh, but no, I've missed a lot of flights, and like I missed a flight because the flight went at 12:03, and I thought it was 12:30, and so I was like, "Oh,
that's players fuck up. That's a players fuck up. That's a real miss. I don't count that as a real miss."
Right, and I just got on the next flight, and I was gone. It's fine.
Right.
No, but so I had to fly back. We talked about this, right? Last week, I had to fly back for my kids' swim meet. So I didn't sleep at all that night.
No.
Because I knew I had to get up at 3:30 to take a shower, make sure everything was done. And you know this, when you're in the city, you don't know how long it's going to take to get to LaGuardia. You don't know how long it's going to take.
Because you don't know what's shut down, what's open, what's being instructed on. You don't know.
And so I get in the cab at 4:15.
What time's flight?
6.
Time out. Okay.
Flight's at 6.
Okay.
Get to the airport at 5.
Okay.
Now, this is where I am Very different than a lot of people. I am a all the time check bag boy.
We will never know. Okay. Well, can I just time out?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't like walking around the airport with a suitcase. Like a fucking nerd.
Okay. All right. I have my backpack and I have my carry-on, and that's what, unless it's like a longer trip. If I'm going on vacation, that's it. If I'm going for a weekend for work, that's it. If I'm going for like a long stretch I'll need more clothes, then I'll check a bag. But like checking a bag, it's got to be a real situation.
I check a bag every single time. Okay. And in that check bag, there are a couple things. There are different shoe options. Mm-hmm. There are my running clothes. Mm-hmm. And there's also equipment like podcasting.
Yeah, you've got gear. Yeah.
I got gear, which, by the way, shout out to TSA for always fucking my shit up, because I have come up with a new solution though.
What is that?
I put the microphone in a Ziploc labeled microphone, and then I put the headphones in a Ziploc labeled headphones, so that they can just put it back how it is. Because if you just have it in there, they go buck wild on all your stuff. I also
check bags,
but but if you don't have equipment in it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I get to the gate. Like I said, we get to the airport around 5. My flight goes at 6. We board at 5:20. Get my bag checked. I'm TSA breeze through security. I by the way, if you don't have a real ID, you fucked up, player.
That's a whole other conversation we yell about.
Dude, I only have a real ID because I didn't want to change my residency when I moved to Chicago in 2018. So your boy's been doing absentee voting from the house I'm in right now the whole time. Yes, sir.
My ID's cracked, so I just ordered a new one. So I assume that'll be a real ID.
I think you have to show up for that. I don't know.
We got to find out. We're
gonna find out. So here's the thing. So I get there at 5. Bag gets checked. Go through security. Flight boards at 5:20. Okay, 5:20. I'm through security about 5:10, 5:15 maybe. Now here's what I do, and there's only one exception to this rule. I am usually one of the last 2 people to get on a plane.
That makes sense.
I don't want to be on there.
Right.
But one exception, I said, if I'm in first class, let me get on there and get my drink, player. Let me get on there and get my drink. But no, I don't want to be at the airport for longer than I need to be.
It's a bus station, guys.
It is.
In the year 2025, it's just a bus station.
I mean, and I was talking to Hartzell because Hartzell's so proud of Hartsfield-Jackson because it's the biggest air. Does the most traffic in the world, and I'm like, yeah. Do you know what that is? That's called a bus stop.
Look, it's the best bus stop you ever thought of, dog. Like people, I hate Hartsfield. You've never been treated better. You've never been treated better.
I love the Atlanta airport. I think it's amazing. I literally, you know what I did? So I had to fly from New York to Atlanta. I got my mile in the airport.
Yeah, easy.
And it was a tight, and I was just walking. But here's the thing: it's just me with my backpack. Mm-hmm. No carry-on.
See, I don't have a roller carry-on. I've got a duffel.
You got a duffel.
Everything. I'm a duffel man, so I'm carrying with the bag on my back.
Bring your little money to the duffel bag, boy. Go and get your money.
Hey, can we talk about something that got weirder from last week?
Well, yes, we will. But I just want to finish this. Sorry. So I got a mile in Hartsfield-Jackson.
Easy.
And as soon as I walked past my gate, because I use Samsung Health, and so they go, almost there, you can do it. And so I walked past my gate and then came back, got the final mile, and I was the last person to get on the plane.
Perfect.
And then here's what I do, because everybody's worried about checking a bag. When I get to the airport in Charlotte, I go and get a drink.
Are you chilling?
I'm not in a rush. My suitcase it's going to take some time.
I hear you.
and I say this as someone that has like that Priority X on their suitcase, because I usually fly business, I fly comfort, and I fly first class. That's it. I'm not back there with the rest of you people.
Wow. You see him talking down to us, right? You see all us, the listeners, and myself. I'm one of the people, man. No pre-check, no clear, no first class, no business class. I am of the people, my friends.
Listen. I'm of the people in a lot of different ways.
He's fucking trip, Felder.
I'm of people in a lot of different ways. But if I'm gonna be on a plane and it's just me, I'm gonna treat myself.
Abdul Carter.
Yes.
We talked about this last week. He asked LT for the number. LT hit him with the son, go grow up on, do it yourself.
Yeah. Get it out the mud.
And then he asked Phil Simms. And Phil Simms said yes until his family outvoted him and said no. Felder, why do we know? Like, it's one thing to ask. Asking is still beyond me. I don't get that. So my brain's not working that way. But if you're going to ask, why do I know about it? Is everything content? Is this where we've reached? Is this the level of brain rot of this generation where, it happened, so I've got to record it? Like, why do I know you got told no twice?
I don't know. Honestly, I truly don't. Like I'm around like these guys. I'm around these kids. I still call them kids. I mean, I'm a man. I'm 40. So, but like literally, I think it's just they're from a different era where like there is no like if they're talking about you, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what is it? It's not that like we're growing up. No news was good news. And especially as an offensive lineman and a defensive back, if you don't call my name, I'm good.
It's a good day in the office.
We did it. I talked to Mike Golick Jr. about it 2 weeks ago. And Golick was like, "Hey man, if they don't say I never heard this kid's name in a game. Like he's like, I was reviewing film. I never heard this kid's name." And he's like, "That's a good thing.
It's a great start. It's a great way to start with film.
That's how you want it, because that means you're not messing up."
There's nothing worse as a defensive back or a lineman to hear a whistle blow and then hear your number. I'm like, wait, what the hell?
No.
What? Holding 6'6", motherfucker. Are you serious?
Yeah, holding 25. Pass interference 25. And the only thing worse than that for me is like, and for you, is this doing your hands up like that because you gave up a sack or because I gave up a time. Like, no, that wasn't even on me. We was doing something different. Like when a safety puts his hands up, like, "Hey man, you were supposed to be there."
Yeah,
and he looks at and everyone's like, "Boo this man." And he's looking at the corner like, "Hey man, what happened?"
We're playing junior year, and we're coming out of our end zone. We had a big run on the left side, nice little sweep, and we go to the huddle, we go to the line, and my left tackle was the all Ivy guy. Yeah, Ivy probably ended up in the Columbia Hall of Fame. I was the other guy, and we get up to like the 23, offsides. 7-6 offense. It's my boy. I'm like, you line back up. Offsides. And I just look at him and he goes, "Palmer, shut the fuck up." I was like, all right, fair enough. I was just curious if you knew what was going on. Because me, myself, I knew I wasn't jumping. I'm really glad it was 7-6, not 6-6. But Abdul Carter, like, my man, just grab a number, dog. Like,
B99.
Felder.
B99.
I wanted 11 because it meant a lot at Penn State. You do know you're about to get like really paid to play football.
Right. But like, sure, 11, Penn State, Micah Parsons.
This ain't Penn State though.
It's not Penn State. Here's the thing. I don't see like the kids from LSU, they're not trying to wear the same number that they had in college.
Like what?
Julius Peppers didn't even, like, what are we doing?
I don't get it because, like you said, it's the attention economy, and maybe that's it's the attention economy, and I'm a lineman. Like the thing has gone as far left for my personal sensibilities as possible.
Right, and I'll go one step further. Watching the way that safeties are drafted in this draft, there's a humongous difference between safeties and corners.
Yes.
And I think there's a humongous personality difference. Safeties, again, as I've said, safeties relate more to offensive linemen and linebackers. Linebackers, we also watch the linebackers be devalued.
Yep.
And so there's that. So look, if you're a linebacker or a safety, you get a chance to take a shot. If you're a lineman and you get a chance on a trap, I love that IG thing that you posted. If you get a shot to take a shot, if you get a chance to take a shot, whether it's a trap for you guys or it's a somebody trying to throw it into that 2-hole for a safety, you're going to take it because they act like you don't matter.
Yep.
When the reality is, and we've talked about this before, these are the foundational pieces of your team.
The pieces you watch on Sundays and Saturdays that you guys get excited about, those are the show pieces. Those are the show pieces. The go pieces is everything else.
Yeah,
that's what makes it go. Because if I can't block it, y'all can't run it. Please believe that.
Yeah, it's truly like they're true, like you said, they're show ponies. Like they are. This is dressage. Right? Quarterback, wide receiver.
First dressage. This is episode 335. This is the first dressage reference.
Well, that's what it is.
Couldn't be more excited to have it.
That's dressage. But
that is dressage.
Like if you want to, and I don't think I could say this enough. Whether it's drafting a quarterback or a wide receiver, when your team is ass, it's like, can you imagine if someone like you working real? We talked about this before. That's like showing up with a roof and being like, okay, now what?
Don't make no damn sense. Let's talk about receivers for a second here because I have a question for you. You're smarter than me. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys,
dude,
would I be giving up a 2026 third rounder and pick swapping a 5th and a 6th the next year for 1 year of George Pickens, who's got 1 year left on his deal?
Who's got 1 year? The only way I would do that is if I thought we're going to win the Super Bowl next year,
or we're a receiver.
We're going to win it. Yes, and we're going to win the Super Bowl. Like with him, now we can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's the only way. And if that's what you're thinking, I guess you're an idiot. But it is what it is. I'm seeing it from the other side. My dad is a Steelers fan. Like died in the wool. Like grew up in Germany. They only had 2 games, and it was Steelers and Cowboys, and he hates the Cowboys. So makes it even harder.
Yeah. Oh wow,
makes it even harder. Like if you grew up in Germany as a military brat, they used to show the games at like movie theaters on base.
Yeah,
and they would show you Steelers game, Cowboys game. Love the Steelers, hates the Cowboys. And now George Pickens is going to the Cowboys. They were so excited to have DK
and Pickens.
And then everyone's like, well, Pickens, maybe he's not the best locker room guy. And everyone's like, has Tomlin lost it? What's going on? How do we handle this? Because Pickens he's a true YN, dude.
Look. All right, so let me make something very clear. George Pickens is a dog. I'm a huge George Pickens fan. I'm not going to say something bad about the young man.
Was not used right at Georgia.
No one is.
Grew into himself. Man, when he...
Tell it. My George Pickens story is him whooping that cornerback from Georgia Tech's ass.
Georgia Tech's behind.
And I was like, hey, man, whoever drafts you got a dog.
And then the craziest part is he already beat him up, and then he grabbed him by the face mask and threw him into the wall. And I was like, yo... And y'all haven't been throwing this guy a ball?
I need a receiver with black Air Force energy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I called him a YN. Like he got that. He does. He got that energy.
And what's even wilder is when you look at NFL receivers of the last 2 years, only one to break 2,000 yards besides DK Metcalf. So it looked like a situation where Pittsburgh was just waiting for, I assume, that asshole to sign.
Right.
But it looked like Art dismissed your OC, but still, it felt like you were going to have weapons. And now it's like it feels like the same damn thing if you're in Pittsburgh. So how is your dad taking it? This is a good question.
Not good.
What's happening in Pittsburgh? Is it over? Like, what are we doing here? Are we trying to undercut the coach?
I don't think they're trying to. I think there's a levels of everything, right? So what we're dealing with is a guy in George Pickens he's a full crash out for sure.
For sure.
And guess what? You got to have some of them. I just think that they don't want him at wide receiver. Like if James Harrison is the definition of a crash out
to this day. But if you send him to Dallas, is the thought that okay, he's not the one anymore, so less pressure means less crash outs. More freedom to operate. Like him opposite. Like I've never seen him play with another top flight receiver in the NFL. So him and CeeDee Lamb, like as a concept, is very interesting to me.
That is going to be very interesting. Like to go back to Pittsburgh though, like. I mean, did you see the video where Pickens just uses 2 fingers and grabs a kid's face mask and just slams him down on the ground? And I was like, yo, this guy's he's so strong. He's so talented.
What did that player say to him?
I don't know what he said. He said something.
See, that's my thing. It's like George crazy. But someone's usually asking for the smoke when he delivers. Yeah, he'll just be hitting people randomly.
You ask stupid questions, you get stupid answers. And he's the best at answering them very stupidly. But no, I think with respect to Dallas, hopefully, like in their mind, they're like, we're going to give Dak some weapons, and then we'll go from there. I don't think they were thrilled with their draft.
Do you remember who the coach is for the Cowboys is next year?
No.
Brian Schottenheimer.
Why?
He's the head coach.
That's insane. He just keeps getting jobs because he's Marty's kid?
Not just keeps getting jobs. Dog, I did this when he got hired. I did this with like a list of his resume. It has been, every time it ends, it's like, hey, he just wouldn't fit, or hey, what we're looking for in the offense, or hey, he wasn't producing. And all of a sudden, bam, after that season in Dallas, where no one was impressed with the offense, he's your head coach.
Jeez, God.
So if your dad gets mad, just remind him he's got Brian Schottenheimer at the helm. They're going to be terrible.
Well, I mean, I don't know how good.
Look, I didn't say I'm not anything about Pittsburgh. I'm just saying at least you can shit on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know how good. I mean, Arthur Smith is mid to me, like
under mid. I'm not gonna revisit your alma mater.
No,
but I mean, there's no good. Nothing good has happened. Nothing good has happened in the week.
This is a joke.
You heard Mike Lombardi this week?
No, what did he say this week? He says more stuff?
He said light blue is not known as a very tough color, but we are gonna bring toughness. Dog, it's like, you know what it is? It's NFL analysts coming into the college football and talking about players in the offseason like they've been watching all season. What's more stunning to me is that it's very clear that Mike Lombardi.
Oh my God, I missed this yesterday because I was trying to get some work done. He went on the ACC network and said this? Are you kidding me?
I love bringing something Felder on the podcast.
Are you kidding me?
Best part of doing this.
Dude, this is...
I told you I wasn't going to talk about it. It's literally not on my sheet.
But like, here's the thing. Like, no,
I wanted to
this
know
is
that
ridiculous.
the quote happened.
Bro, it's a fucking iconic color.
Columbia blue.
Carolina blue.
We can go to the Nike source book.
Sure, we could go to East Bay. I know. I understand.
Right. Okay.
What it's called. But that color.
The color. All right.
Was popularized.
No one doubting. No, I'm not going to push back at all.
By UNC. UNC specifically basketball. Same as, and I'm going to throw this on here, the Argyle.
The Argyle's y'all. That's y'all.
That's all us. That's Alexander Julian.
I'm not saying a word about it. No Argyle.
So it just is like, this is to like to go on the league network. Because I'm like reading it now. This is wild. What are we doing?
The note was, we're not going to talk about it. I guess my note. And I wrote down, I'm looking at it right now.
No.
It's very funny because I didn't want to torment you because I didn't want to do this to you, but I didn't know.
Tormented.
You hadn't heard about this. Like,
I just haven't seen it.
Mike Lombardi. Whew. Speaking of failing up.
But like, it's one of those things where like, I understand they want to bring, as you said, the NFL mentality to the college situation. They don't. There is a true, and talking to former teammates, talking to like alums, there's a true disconnect where like Mac Brown got it. He understood. And Mac Brown played the game at 2 schools.
Yep.
Where it's like, you better play the game. And we mentioned that with Shedeur Sanders, right? Where he slipped because he didn't play the game.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about playing the game, UNC and Texas, and no one is upset with Mac Brown at all at either school, even when he was not winning as much as they thought they should. Every single person is like, we still love Mac. Mac the man, dog.
Dog, they brought him back at UNC.
Right. And so, but also, so here's the thing I think about. There's 2 things I think about. One, what does this on-field product look like? Because I don't know if you've noticed, they're not the roster. This roster, I don't know what they're supposed to be. Okay. I do think Belichick is a very good defensive coach.
No one's going to deny that.
We can't deny that. Then 2, I wonder what off the field looks like. And I'm not talking about recruiting. What I'm talking about are, and you've been to the like scholarship dinners, and what is it called? Is it called Women's Day? Like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They have like all the ladies get together for like a mini football camp, and the players. Yeah. For people that don't know this, basically, we get like paraded out to these like older ladies.
Yep.
In like tights, and we show them drill.
It's a whole thing. But the idea is it's alumni connector and it generates the booster base. You're talking about a guy who's never gave a fuck about either one of those. Like you talking about scholarship dinners and that, dog. I want to go to a Chapel Hill Booster Club meeting. I want to sit in the back and just see how he handles that.
Well,
or does he send Jordan?
He wasn't even allowed to handle a CBS interview. Like what? But I think the way that I think about this is more like my wife's I'm not going to talk. My wife's older than me. And I think about her trying to interact with a 25-year-old, 24-year-old. She's like, no, what? For what? Think about a 65-year-old who's been married if she's 65, she's been married for 35 years.
Easy.
And to a guy that just is like, probably doesn't do that much at home. Like,
play the numbers down.
And they got grown kids. And then she's got to go to this thing with a 24-year-old. Oh, I've said it before, but like, I don't think people realize what the Dean Dome actually looks like because they got like Barca lounges in there.
And I think the biggest thing for me is the lack of recognition of where you're at. The lack of appreciation of the history of what came before. And this is a larger conversation about like the lack of education and lack of importance taken in history and how people are like that ChatGPT article in Atlanta yesterday fucks me up. I was like, hey guys, I'm taking all the computers out of my house. Fuck this.
What we're watching right now is a guy trying to give his kid a job.
Yes. In the single messiest way possible.
But he knows he can't gift him a job in the NFL.
Right.
That won't work. No. So what do? I go one level down. I gift him a moderately prestigious job.
Can we time out that for a second?
Yeah.
Just real quick. I want to go back to the thing I was talking about earlier about appreciation and acknowledgement of where you are. If Bill Belichick went 8-4, that's good at UNC. If he did 8-4 3 years in a row at UNC,
that's very good.
Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then on this, like right now, they've put it up in a situation where if they don't win the ACC, they will be pilloried. They will be mocked by not people who know college football, by everybody else.
When have they won the ACC?
Hey, dog, I'm telling you, that's what you and I know. I'm telling you, the outside forces who are like, Bill Belichick's there. This is going to be great. I'll see you in September. And don't think about it again.
This should feel like Charlie Weiss, right? It feels like Charlie Weiss, doesn't it?
You don't know who you are.
I think we know who we are.
You do. The world.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think other people don't know that this is a middling football program that has produced, I would say, arguably, 2 of the best football players ever. Lawrence Taylor and Julius Peppers.
Okay.
Don't play me.
I'm
And
not I looked away because I had to do the math on Julius Peppers, but you're not wrong. Like Julius Peppers is make a list of defensive ends. He's on it.
yeah. So they produced in small, like very small, very good players. This is a team. We won. Hang on. You know what? Fuck this. I'm going to look it up. List of UNC football seasons wiki. Okay, here we go. I got it. I got it right here. I'm already here. So I'm going to go to where we are right now.
Right on.
6, 8, 9, 6, 8, 7, 2, 3, 8, 11. That's our best one. That's when we played for the ACC championship game and got smoked. 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 0. Those all had to get vacated though. That's different.
Yeah.
They won 8. They won 8 games. They won 8 games. In 2 seasons, they won 8 back-to-back 8-win seasons, but they're 0 technically.
Yeah, whatever.
4, 3, 5, 6, 2. This was my first season at UNC. We went 2-10. We lost to motherfucking Duke. And 2003 Duke was trash.
Like, why would you just come out and say, we're going to beat State, we're going to beat Duke? Like, why you got to be all this, like, we're going to transform UNC into a blue blood and structural advantages and
10-1. Mac had 2 10-win seasons.
They weren't back-to-back?
Yeah, they were back-to-back.
Were they really? Wow.
They won the Gator Bowl against West Virginia, and then Mac didn't coach the bowl game the next year. That's when we got Carl Torbush. But this is not like at some point, if you're going to, here's the thing that makes me really frustrated. You can't keep calling us a sleeping giant. At some point, the giant got to wake the fuck up.
Or it's not a giant. Or y'all just misidentified a mountain. Y'all keep poking this mountain. That ain't no giant, it's just a piece of rock.
Yeah, this is just Grandfather Mountain. Like, but it's frustrating because it does feel like these things have been foisted upon us because we do have a lot of money.
Yes.
We do have a lot of resources.
Yes.
You guys have spring football in Georgia?
And what's like spring ball before? Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
We don't have that here in our state.
It's baseball country.
It's baseball. It's obviously it's in our best basketball players, with the exception of Michael Jordan. They're not from here. No. And it's one of those things where people don't understand like the actual dynamics. They just see
a brand.
They see a brand and they're like, why can't this brand just be good? And I'm like, hey man,
tons of reasons, baby.
There's a lot going on here. And like our best kids, guess what? Our lacrosse team, they slap, dog. You know,
like you said, your best kids lead, like Todd Gurley, is he North Carolina kid?
I was working my way toward that because our lacrosse kids, you know where they come from? Philly, Maryland,
Jersey,
New York, and Jersey. Yeah, that's where our best lacrosse players come from. Why? Because they want to be at UNC because of the brand. Then you see, obviously, you mentioned Gurley. There's another. You guys had 3 running backs like in a row from North Carolina.
Keith Marshall, Todd Gurley.
Yeah,
I can't think of the third top of my head.
So you have that, and then the Humphrey kid that he's in the NFL now, but he played at Florida. Mm-hmm. He's from North Carolina. I know he's a military kid, but he's from North Carolina. Our best players leave.
Yeah,
they leave. They're like, for what? For why? The only real true success of staying in this state has been NC State with Chuck Amato when he had Mario Williams and Manny Lawson. And then he was able to go out and get Phillip Rivers to bring him in there.
From Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, sir. And I have 10 kids. Bro, all I'm saying is if I had 10 kids, I would be in the NFL too. Because that's the only way you can pay for them. You just driving around a Sprinter van all day.
I got nothing nice to say about it. I'm gonna move on. Before we get out of here,
here's the thing. Our state is very good at a handful of things.
Mm-hmm.
We're very good at baseball.
Yes.
We're very good at obviously getting basketball players to want to come here because of the brand.
Because of the brand.
We're good at swim, which I didn't realize how good we were at swim until I learned that like I knew that Ricky Barons is from here. I knew that like Ryan Lochte moved here to train. My kid goes to the same pool that Ryan Lochte went to. And then I start going to this pool and they have their list of Olympians on the wall. And I'm like, oh shit.
The phrase list of Olympians is a whole the list of Olympians. Damn. Okay.
Damn, y'all got a list.
Yeah.
But they're good at that. And it just is one of those and oh God. Oh, I would have been devastated if I forgot about this. Women's soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But those women's soccer is a blend of people from here who play women's soccer, but also they go to they pull. If you can get a player, the Texas State Player of the Year, to come to UNC and play soccer, you can get the Florida State Player of the Year to come and play soccer.
Yeah.
You get the best goaltender in the country to come and play soccer. That's brand. That's brand.
Brand is strong. Brand is real strong.
Brand is strong. The brand's just not that strong in football, and to pretend like it is. But then also to put the brand down by talking about the color. What do you
dog?
What do you want us to look like fucking Gotham? We got style.
I will say this. When I was at Columbia, when we're going to talk about playoffs next. When I was at Columbia, we were all about, because we wore the light blue everywhere. We looked like the travel suits we looked like the Smurfs. I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we get some black joints with the blue highlights? Like that
blue
would be
highlights, yeah.
And so after we graduated, of course, if you go watch Columbia highlights now, they got colorways, they got different. I'm like, hey man, kids look fresh as fuck. Like I wish if it couldn't be me, I'm glad it can be you. So,
I'm glad, same. I feel the same way because Jump would not let us wear anything. So when Mac Brown was there, we had like these like the LC green, like we had like navy highlights on the side with Carolina blue down the middle and navy on the shoulder caps. And when I keep calling him, we call him Jump Off. We call him Jump. But when John Bunting got there, sorry, for people to understand what I'm saying, he said, no, we will wear Carolina blue only. And my first game, and people will remember this, and if you don't remember it, you can go ahead and do a quick YouTube search. My first game is when the only time that we wore all Carolina blue. And then Dexter Reed got destroyed by Greg Jones. That was my first game of college football. I had just spent a month with Dexter Reed as my like I just thought he was my like mentor.
This is your vet.
He's our vet. He's our best player. He's a preseason All-American. And Greg Jones popped his top and just pushed him like 5 yards. And I was like, oh man. That's the year we went 2-10. So no, but Jump never let us wear anything but the Carolina blue. Butch Davis gets there and he's like, throw some fucking navy in this bitch. They wore and we never played a Thursday night game ever. The school, all the professors were like, we can't do a Thursday night game. That will disrupt our entire class schedule. We're an academic institution. And Butch Davis got there and he was like, they gonna put us one with no other games on? Just us? This is before the NFL was doing Thursday nights. He was like, just us?
Let's go.
Let's rock and roll, player. Put this game, No, we're doing it. I don't cancel class. And they did.
I don't want to run you into hand in the dirt too close. So let me move on to the NBA.
Bro,
they say the playoffs only start.
Are doing.
They say the playoffs only start when the road team wins a game. This series, New York and Boston, hey man, somebody needs to wake the Celtics up because this whole like we're gonna be cool till we're not situation is not it. And look,
get you a motherfucker with some sideburns.
I don't want to sit here and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people today. We're recording in the morning after this happened. I'm sure a lot of people today are gonna be dumping on Jayson Tatum. I'm not going to do that right now. I will look at Boston fans and be like, "Is this your king?
Yeah,
is this your king?
Has to be. Didn't they pay him?
Woo, so much money.
All I'm saying is Brunson got the worst hair.
Yep.
Like Tatum got no sideburns.
Felder, he scored 13 points last night.
Listen, get some sideburns. How do you have a beard?
There's not a Knicks starter. There's not a Knicks starter who's a positive plus minus for last night's game.
How do you have a beard and then you cut this part off and then still have hair up here? Get some sideburns. That's all I'm saying. Sideburns, they will take you far.
They got to take further than this. This is getting wild because the Knicks scored 13 points in the first quarter, and I was like, okay, cool. I hope the second.
They were down by 4?
Hand up. Shout out to the late game for the Thunder letting me go to sleep. Am I putting the boys to bed? I appreciate you, Thunder.
49. That's insane.
Dog, it was over. The first quarter, I was like, fantastic. Good night. This is a wrap.
Listen, you know I love Jokic, but man, he was like, I do not have it tonight.
Only no one man should have all that power. And guess what? Christian Brown, who starts for the Nuggets, was a minus 40 last night.
Yeah, it was terrible. But no, to go back to the Celtics and the Knicks, like realistic, like so I have been watching, like I've been watching it live, not just like replays or anything on Instagram or whatever. And my wife has been watching it with me, and she's amazed at like watching that we watched both of the games in the point differential, and like they just come back and like what do you do? Like the Celtics are just going into a hole. Oh, by the way, Paul Pierce, let me know what that walk was like, my man. I don't know if you saw it, but he said that he would walk to work if the Celtics lost game 2. He's like, there's no way they will lose game 2. He said he will walk. Somebody mapped it out from his house. It's 20 miles. He said he would walk barefoot to work if they lost the game.
Again, we're going back to the attention economy, and no one's called or anything.
I hope they had a camera crew out in front of his house.
Ain't no goddamn way Paul goddamn Pierce went on them 20 miles.
But it's one of those things. Like I watched the Celtics play, and there's Thibs is a great coach, man. Like he is. And
I think he's a good coach who's only got one speed, and that speed happens to be 4 on the floor. Yeah. And so it always weirds me out because this is the time where I expect his teams to burn out. And now it's like the Celtics, and I think this happened a bit with OKC in game 1, when you don't play close games and you've got someone who only plays close games. Right. Then if they can make it tight, someone's booty's getting tighter and it's not theirs.
That's a great that's a great way to put it. The thing I was gonna say, when you mentioned the 4 on the floor, like the thing that I think about is literally like the physicality and wearing them down. Like it's not fun. This isn't a fun series. The Celtics like to play fun basketball. This isn't fun. And Thibs is not fun. He doesn't want it to be. It's not supposed to be fun. I want to make you hurt. And like he is the closest thing to like a classic football coach that we have in the NBA. Like he's someone where he's like, practice should be harder than the games. Mm-hmm. Practice should be harder than the games. And his team is bearing that out right now. They have smiles on their faces in the middle of the fourth quarter
while they walk you down
because they know that they're going to catch you. And once they catch you, they got you. Like it's done. Even with my man shooting that terrible free throw.
What's wild to me is that like when you look at a team like the Celtics, particularly they shoot so many threes. I think last game, I want to pull up the numbers really quickly. The reason why, and everyone's like, oh, I don't like the style. It's not necessarily stylistic. They went 10 of 40 from 3-point last night.
43 pointers. That's crazy.
But if you're shooting threes, your legs have to be in it to get that ball to the rim.
Right. Well, that's the other part is they have jump shooters.
Yes.
They have jump shooters. They don't have like Steph Curry's not a jump shooter for people that don't realize. Steph Curry's a set shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But Steph Curry does run all game. But for him, it's just release.
Right.
He doesn't get off. He's not getting up off the ground to shoot.
Not getting squared. None of that.
He knows where he needs to. So he's not a true like jump shooter. Jayson Tatum is a jump shooter. He has to elevate and then shoot. The other, who is it? Is it who's the other guy they have? They have jump shooters. Basically, my point.
Jaylen Brown,
jump shooter.
Yeah.
And it's hard, especially if the other team is leaning on you all game. And I can't
trust them. Like they took 1 2-pointer, I think it was in the first game, one in the third quarter. Like you've got to go get them easy while they're easy. Go get them while it's get it while you can.
You're preaching to the choir, dog. Because the amount of times that they did get an offensive rebound, and then instead of putting the ball back up,
kick it out.
They kick it out, and I'm like, hey man.
And there's some casual NBA fans who may not know this. They've changed the rule to where when the ball hits the rim, it doesn't go to 24 seconds anymore. It goes to 14.
14, yeah.
And so, like, the kick out is even more of it's less explicable even now. It's a reset, but you've got so much less time to operate in that reset. Everyone's acting hurried. Everyone's acting rushed. Speaking of hurried and rush, Hand in the Dirt. It's a gardening podcast. It's also about football. Felder, tell everyone where they can find that, you, and everything else you do, brother.
So I got Substack. It's Felder.substack.com. Check that out. Should have something up today. Hand in the Dirt. It's a gardening podcast about football. Obviously, check this podcast out. And make sure you get a Mother's Day card. If you're going to do flowers, shop local. And I'm sitting in the catbird seat right now because my mom is actually going out of town on Mother's Day. So I'm not double dipping.
Gold.
Yeah, I'm not double dipping. My daughter said she wants to do brunch for my wife.
Bam, done.
Made in the shade, done by 2. Let's go. And I think the pool's going to be open. So they can go to the pool.
Let's see, it's running about the house too. I appreciate you being on, brother. This and every episode of UD Pod is brought to you by Daniel Palmer Mortgages. If you can pay your rent, you can pay a mortgage. It's my job to help you qualify. Make sure you check out Life, Love, and Real Estate. Episode 7 is out, talking about decisions you have to make, trade-offs you have to make in each avenue of life. Follow me on Blue Sky, Instagram, and everywhere else at dpalm66. That is your show. There is no outro. We will see you guys early next week with another episode of UD Pod. Have a great one.